campaign. Congratulations to everybody. We made it so much farther than we have ever before. So I'm going to do this. This is an appreciation for the whole season. Nobody should get offended, even though it's going to be offensive. But
nothing personal, huh, Stevie?
I've got a little bit of a hoarseness going on, so I've asked the team spokesman to come and speak to us tonight, who is Coleman, team representative. So he's going to go through his observations and what he's gleaned from the team this year.
You're not helping!
All right.
If I knew Coleman was on the roster, I would have responded to that MVP email.
You could open him up and leave him in right field.
Ouch! Burr!
Anybody can play right field, man.
All right, here we go.
Might even catch a ball, yeah.
Are we supposed to stay or go?
Stay and listen.
Okay.
Eyes on Coleman. He's very animated.
I always hated that fucking Coleman.
Can everybody hear Coleman?
I heard that.
I always hated that guy.
So did I.
I can hear Coleman.
Get it out of your system.
I heard it too.
We need silence now.
Can everyone hear Coleman?
Yep.
Yes. No.
I'm going to try to see.
Pay no attention to that man behind that
Exactly.
I'm the great and powerful Vitello.
Here we go. Welcome, Astros. I'd really like to thank Steve for giving me the opportunity to be here tonight. I don't see him now, but he told me to get started anyway.
Okay.
I hope he's not cheating on me with that fridge downstairs with the automatic ice maker.
Automatic ice maker.
Ooh,
I was
like
honored when
that.
Steve asked me to speak, saying I was a great source of inspiration and motivation, not only for him, but for the rest of you knuckleheads here tonight. You know, ever since I was a little koozie at Patty's Packing, I loved the game of baseball. Back then, I used to sit above the checkout counter and root for my favorite players like Bjarne Carbo, Fred Lehman-Kugel, Rick Miller, and of course Wade Boggs. Even though there was a constant parade of customers picking up their Schlitz, then Bud Light, I still long to get out into the real world and someday get to a real ball game. I almost lost hope when Jack Foley came in one day before an important client meeting to pick up his usual 72 ounces of charisma and market insight to help close his deal. Reeling from a 6-2 loss the night before, or was it a victory? It doesn't really matter. It's all the same. He had to somehow summon the courage to get out of bed to make it for his 11 o'clock appointment.
Really hitting close to home.
So then Jack, as he put his purchase on the counter, he accidentally stumbled into the wall, knocking me from my perch. As I hurtled downward to a grisly landing among the cigarette butts and used scratch tickets, Jack, like a bullfrog snatching a fly, instinctively flicked out his left hand and caught me. He looked at me quizzically and said, "Shit, how did I do that? I should play the next game hungover." A bond, or more like a dependency. I got my freedom, and I grew into a full-size cooler. I even married the St. Pauli girl. And we are the proud parents of twin boys, Pilsner and Lager, both in refrigeration school, and our lovely daughter, Shandy. I've since been to tons of baseball games over the years, and I've met several playmates and igloos and thermoses. But best of all, I've been able to make great friends, including all of you. I have a special connection to the team and have come to realize that the Astros and I are similar in so many ways. For instance, we both sweat. We both need ice to do our jobs, and we both need beer to do our jobs. And if you don't rinse us after games, we get moldy and really smelly. I insulate my contents from the outside world. You guys play to insulate yourselves from the outside world.
Wow! Good.
My lineup consists of bottles and cans. Your lineup is shaped like bottles and cans. Well, I've noticed that after many games, when folks were gathered around me laughing, razzing each other, enjoying the summer evening, averting their eyes while Steve took his pants off, someone would inevitably remark, geez, if we could only record some of this stuff. Basically, this was because everybody knew they couldn't remember crap on their own. Well, you're in luck. I'm here to tell you that you should be careful what you wish for. Because unbeknownst to you, I've recorded or remembered much of what happened both during and after the game. Except, of course, what went on at the midway, since I forgot my ID that night. So unless anybody's afraid enough to pay me some serious hush money, I'm going to share some observations and recollections in no particular order.
I got $20.
Not enough. From the 2000.
All right, I got $30.
Keep going.
I remember that during games, Brady would sometimes stand by me when no one was looking and mumble random musings like, "I'm so much better than all these guys."
I'm not paying for hush money for that. That's true.
So let's have a little peek and see how much beer Jack brought tonight. Or, stupid Steve hasn't brought any sugar cookies. Chicken thighs. Well, I can't play under these conditions.
Agreed.
I think he knew I was listening because he would always say, "Now cough," when he rammed his hand in for a cold one. Not funny, Brady.
I was hoping he was talking about something else. Okay.
I saw Carl hit the living shit out of them. Excuse me. Hit the living crap out of them.
Hey, language, cooler, language.
Sorry, didn't realize I was in Charlestown. I saw Carl hit the living snot out of the ball on several occasions. Play a solid third base, and then managed to get picked off second with no one playing.
Glad I wasn't the only one who noticed.
And when Demian wasn't busy crashing the boards in the Wellesley ambiguously athletic basketball league, he quietly went about his business on the diamond with solid innings and solid contact, highlighted by his holding the Norwood Red Sox to 1 run on his way to a complete game victory in the second game of the season. This feat prompted Dominic to say, "I'm still awesome, and we have really cool uniforms."
You've been exposed! You've been exposed!
Who's behind that curtain?
Exactly.
You did a good job,
Hey,
Gracie.
sit down.
No.
Yeah, sit down. There's a mouse on the floor. Look at right over there. Go get him.
No, ma.
Also, the new fun-sized Greg had a great year.
What?
The fun time
Using his speltness to make some ancient plays, hit well, and only get lost once. Although he did almost total his car trying to park in a
Come
water
on,
tank.
baby.
He confided in me that he floored it back into a pole because he thought he saw Brady in his rearview mirror, waving his arms and yelling, "Tisha, Tisha, Tisha!"
Yeah, so it wasn't that funny.
Dave Gagan. Dave
Yeah, let's.
Where
right there.
Right here. What I'm sitting on.
Dave shook me to my double insulated space age polymer core when I saw him actually
Sit here, Gracie,
drop
have a
a
seat.
fly ball.
Yeah.
I think he followed it up by hitting 3 doubles and throwing 2 guys out at the plate. He was still growling when he lifted my lid after the game for a cold can of anger management. Unfortunately, the team suffered many injuries this season due to such nasty risk factors as gravity, inertia, and in one case, the inability to walk without twisting an ankle.
Joe!
Golino.
At one point in the last
Yeah,
inning,
I can't handle a hill without spraining my ankle.
at one point in the last inning of the play-in game, the entire starting infield was on the bench. However, the team's depth helped secure the win. That and the fear of being the GOAT and having to listen to Brady bust you for the rest of your entire godforsaken life. In particular, Marty suffered a string of injuries. He had problems with pulled hamstrings, his groin, a broken toe, and getting spiked.
Who are we talking about now?
Marty.
Okay. I agree.
I know that being out drove him nuts, and he even came back to do whatever he could to play or support the team in the playoffs. But I find it very interesting that none of these injuries occurred during an Astros game. And when he was sidelined, Marty would sit on my lid and make phone calls. I couldn't help but wonder what he was doing. But then I realized he was desperately trying in vain to unload his Red Sox seats. If I got stuck having to go to the Sox game this season, I'd tell folks I was injured too. Okay, this is my impression of Marty stealing second. Thank you. Hey, imagine how little Jack would have to say if Caddyshack and Blazing Saddles were never made.
That's good!
Caddyshack and Blazing Saddles were never made.
Oh, sorry. I'm a little
Yo, no, gentlemen.
Alright, cool. It's restocking.
Someone on the team might forget their glove, their shirt, their phone. They'll never forget me. You know, in truth, I've come to the conclusion that the entire post-game ritual isn't a series of insightful baseball observations, funny stories, or music trivia. It's actually one long conversation with 500 interruptions. No one has been able to get a single point across without at least 3 people interjecting something pointedly stupid and immature.
That mean?
Sometimes it's just Brady doing it 3 times.
But I'm right every time.
A typical example might feature Joe after 12 waters and 3 t-shirt changes,
Why? Why are you crazy?
beginning a discourse on the nesting habits of snapping turtles,
That'd be you.
or how he can catch squid off the Magnolia Dock.
That is a good story.
How he can catch squid off the Magnolia Dock at 3 in the morning with a rake and some bungee cords or something. But before he can finish, someone would come in and say, "Snapping turtles, try snapping your glove around the ball, turtle boy." But to catch squid, why don't you just pull down your pants and show them your tentacles?
No. Wrong. Bad.
Ronnie agrees, adding, "Catching squid is shit, man." And on it goes from there.
You crazy.
Yeah. Something about food. Joe just laughs and shrugs it off and orders a carload of Chinese food.
That's crazy. That's crazy.